Okay.
Okay, I could see you.
Great. Great. Okay.
We are live, ladies. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
We have.
Morning.
Oh, do you really have? You haven't met Cornelia yet. Sorry.
No, very
Oh,
nice to meet you.
nice to
Cornelia.
meet you as well.
Great. How are things in Dominica?
Oh, so far so good. We only have 2 cases, so that's good news.
Oh, wow. That
Yes.
is fantastic. Two
Yeah.
cases, two cases too many, but it could be worse, right?
It
Yeah.
could be worse.
Yeah.
When you look at the news and everywhere else, it could be worse.
Good
Yep.
morning, travel partners. Good morning, taskers. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. So, as usual, our Thursday morning coffee chat. I have my drink with me, my smoothie, because I'm trying to lose those COVID pounds.
We all
Aren't
are.
we all? Aren't we all?
I'm trying to lose those COVID pounds, but literally, I'm lazy. I sit down there eating chips, and I was like, why am I not losing weight? And I'm popping chips in my mouth. But so, good morning, travel advisors. Thank you for joining us this morning. We are very excited. I am really excited to have, we call them our sister island, our neighbor. I think they are the closest to St. Lucia when it comes to culture and history and even our
Yes.
accent and our language because you speak Creole as well, just like us.
Yes,
So
we do. Yes, we
Dominica
do.
is like is a second home to lots of St. Lucians. So today we have Miss Cornelia. Is this Gist or Durand?
Durand, married surname is Durand.
Right. Okay. So we have Miss Cornelia Durand with us. Good morning, Pamela. Thanks for joining us. We have Miss Cornelia Durand with us this morning, and she's going to tell us about this little gem, a little bit about Dominica, because we are so excited. She used to work at the Dominica Tourism Authority. So she has that experience in the back of her head. But she's here with us today representing the Cabrits. Did I say that correct? Cabrits?
Cabrits Resort and Spa Kempinski.
Cabrits Resort and Spa.
Spa Kempinski. So it's the Kempinski brand. Like, Kempinski got 75 resorts in the Europe, Asia, and Africa, all these places. So this is the only one in this part of the Caribbean. We have two other Kempinskis in Cuba, not in the Americas, but we're lucky enough to have just this one in the Caribbean.
Fantastic.
So, and
So
it's because it's within the Cabrits National Park, we're like built actually on the national park. So we called it Cabrits Resort and Spa Kempinski.
Kempinski, fantastic. So, and as usual, do you read my good morning, Asher. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Cheryl, Sharon, Pamela. Thank you for joining us. Let us know where you are joining us from, so Cornelia can be aware as well. I know where most of you are coming from, but Cornelia doesn't know. So do let us know where you're joining us from. So before Cornelia starts her presentation, we will also share with anybody who wants because the images are beautiful. But before Cornelia starts to share and talk to us about the resort, any word to our taskers to read?
I hope by now everyone is excited about the virtual Caribbean Fair. We have not made an official announcement yet, but we know in our industry, word travels fast, especially when it's good word. And so hopefully you guys will be hearing more about it. We're taking you to the Caribbean virtually for a full day of learning, networking, performances. So stay tuned, mark your calendars, June 17th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Is that enough Caribbean for you guys? 12 hours?
Fantastic. So we have so far North Carolina, Nashville, and Dominica. Bradley Bayam is locked in from Dominica, he said.
Yes,
But
great.
before we start, we just wanted to let you know I have posted a pledge from the OECS as they are collecting funds for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As you are aware, I was about to say the hurricane. We're so used to hurricane. The volcano have been erupting since Friday last week, and it's been very devastating. So we've been held the OECS, and this is the only platform I will post in the group because it's from the government of St. Vincent and the OECS. I'm not sure about any of the platform that's asking for funds for the destination, but this one is bona fide. You could trust it. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Miss Cornealia to tell us everything about Cabrits Resort and Spa from the Kempinski brand. So,
sure. Let me just go and share. All right.
So you could put in presentation so we could see the slide. So put in presentation mode.
Yep. Oh.
You could.
Slideshow. All right.
Yes. Fantastic. So go ahead. I'm going to mute myself while you.
Okay. So for those who don't know, Dominica actually is located between the two French islands, which is Guadeloupe and Martinique, and we're in the more or less in the West Indies, French Antilles, and we're 290 square mile island. And believe me, it's all nature. That's why we're called the nature island of the Caribbean. We have 265 rivers. I think we do. We have a lot of rain. One of our popular sites are the world's second largest boarding lake. It's like a 6-hour hike, and it's something that a lot of visitors enjoy doing. Dominica, it's lush, it's green. It's just really full of beauty. We have the Waitikobuli National Trail, which is one of the longest or the only the longest hiking, walking or trail in the Caribbean. So that's a plus for us. And it's just something that is somewhere that I think everybody should put in their bucket list to visit this year, especially after COVID. Yes. And so we're called the Caribbean's best kept secret. Again, I mentioned about the Waitikobuli National Trail. It's 115 miles. We have 14 segments. And the good thing about it, Cabrits Resort and Spa Kempinski actually is on one of the segments. So if you go on I think segment 14, the last segment, it actually passes on the property. I mentioned the Boiling Lake. We have Tito Gorge as well. We have the Emerald Pool, which is very popular, and Trafalgar Falls, which is one of our twin falls. There are like so many waterfalls, lakes. We have the Bury Lake as well that you could visit. It's a lot, and as I said, it's just somewhere where you need to go for sure. And these are just some images of the island. You could see how green, how lush, how beautiful everything is. Now, about the resort, as I mentioned, Cabrits Resort and Spa Kempinski, as I said, we got the name because we're actually located within the Cabrits National Park. Cabrits National Park is one of the most important, I would say, it's the most historic national park in Dominica on the island, and we're so lucky to be in this area. So there's just few images of the area, and you could see how the resort actually is located on the national park. And we have the tongue, which is the second tongue of Portsmouth in the background. So we're lucky. With the rooms and the suites, we actually have, we're the only resort on island and only luxury resort on island to have 151 rooms. Although we have a lot of new resorts being built currently, but none of them will have as many rooms. And out of the 151 rooms, we have actually 68 suites included in those rooms. One thing about our rooms that they're very spacious, they're very airy, as you can see. Our basic rooms are like 56 square feet, and the largest, which is the presidential villa, is up to 426 square feet. So as you can see, our rooms are very spacious. They're very nice. These are a few images of the room that comes with all the amenities. We have a lot. Well, right now, the most popular rooms are the ocean views, and they actually are the rooms that face the Caribbean Sea. And this is just, I mean, if you just have to come see it yourself, it's really breathtaking. We also have the mountain view rooms, and we have the mountain view plunge pools that is really popular among locals and regional because people just want to have their own personal pool when they get off their balcony. So that is one of the popular rooms that we have. This is an image of our executive suite. When I tell you spacious, I mean it's extremely spacious. So you can see that for yourself.
The
These
bathroom
are
has
some of,
a lounge chair.
yes, yes, we do have the lounge chair. And these are images from our ocean view suites. All the rooms, just to let you know, all our rooms are double occupancy, and in the room rates, breakfast is included. So that's one of where we say we give value for money because we have our breakfast included in all the packages. All right. Our bathrooms, each bathroom also come with the tubs. You get your robes, your slippers. They all of them have the double sinks and the double showers. So that's a plus because not all the hotels or the resorts have that. Okay, and although they are double occupancy, but for families, we can put in an extra bed, or if you have a baby or a toddler, we can put in an extra cot as well. And because the rooms are so spacious, you don't feel, too congested if we have to put in an extra a bed for a child or an extra cot or whatever it may be. So that is a plus for us. Okay. For our hospitality, we have, okay, ladies in red. We call them ladies in red because they are the ones that are really assigned to make your experience or make your stay a memorable one. We have the 24-hour in-room dining. We have a laundry service, complimentary Wi-Fi. We have actually the floodlight tennis court. We have Kempinski, the spa, kids club, yoga pavilion. I mean, this is just a lot of stuff. We have our business center, we have gift shop. We also have the amphitheater, which we use for weddings. We have like a cabana lawn where we do larger weddings. We have the fire pit as well, where you could just go and chill and do something nice in the evenings. So the property is full of a lot of options. And when it comes to eating and culinary, we're big on the culinary thing. Actually, every weekend we have culinary specials. So we do like a culinary highlights where we have different international dishes. So every week, like every weekend on a Saturday, we would have like Japanese or Mexican or Indian. So we have like, several international dishes that actually the locals love to experience. And it's good for our guests that come from abroad as well. So we have 3 restaurants and 3 bars.
Do
The
you have
bonsai,
do you have
go ahead.
all-inclusive packages, all-inclusive plans?
We have all-inclusive packages, especially for our large groups. So if we're taking in like, especially for the MICE area, we would give an all-inclusive package, which includes the meals, the conference space, as well as rooms.
But individual traveler, like a couple, you don't have all-inclusive for.
We don't have an all-inclusive for just if it's a couple. So yes, you get the room. So we have like, how would I say it? We would have, let's say you want the rooms and maybe lunch and dinner. We have something where we can offer you accommodation and dinner, maybe minus the lunch.
Okay.
Or we can always work out something for you based on your request. But we do not, let's say, advertise all inclusive packages.
Okay, that answers your questions, Janet. Another question is, what about local dishes? Can you have them on the resort? Because I know you mentioned,
Oh, definitely.
so that's always,
Definitely.
that's always on the menu on the Caribbean island.
Yes, this is always on the menu. Actually, on Friday evenings we highlight our Creole. We have a special Creole menu. So we do that like every Friday. So what we try to do on weekends is like the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have like specials. So the Friday we allocate it to the local menu. We have like a Creole menu every Friday that you can choose a variety of Creole foods. On the Saturday, we have international nights. And on Sundays, we have like a grill and chill. It's in the afternoon that people can come with their families. And basically, it's like an all inclusive buffet for 125 EC.
Oh wow,
Imagine that.
I would come down
Imagine
just
that. It is.
that's
And
very
so
that's
you know what the resort looks like on a Sunday, right?
I had a friend who was Dominica. She was the sole manager, and every time she was there for the day, she would do live from the resort.
Okay. Is that Deborah?
Yes, my
Yes.
Deborah, my cousin. Every Sunday, I was
Deborah comes. Yeah, she loves it here. So imagine, so every weekend we try to do something special. And actually, from the Friday night's curl dish, it's 125 EC as well as the international highlights we have on the Saturdays. So we keep everything at 125 EC for the entire weekend.
How much
125.
is that in US dollars? A lot of our travel advisors aren't
Oh,
familiar with that.
sorry. So in US dollars, it's about like 46 US.
Oh my goodness. That sounds like a
Yes.
steakhouse down the street.
yep, very
Exactly.
And
But
the food is so
but
much
after
more.
COVID, we know everyone had their financial issues, and we had to cater to a lot of the locals. So we just decided let's bring down the price. Let's see how we can accommodate our local people. And if we have the guests from international guests, then they get that special as well. So it's a win-win situation.
Fantastic. And I would imagine it includes all the alcoholic beverages and the local rum punch and all that stuff, correct?
Actually, the meals don't. It only comes with local fruit juices or local
Okay.
cocktails, your coffee, your tea, your water, your sodas. But for the more alcoholic drinks, if you want, like whiskey or whatever it is, then that would be separate.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So back to the restaurants. We have the three big restaurants. We have the bars with 24-hour room service. The Creole Bar, Beach Bar is one of our popular ones, and that's where we have our international nights as well. But we have a popular bar which is Rum Fire, and it's in the corner of the right of the photo. And let me tell you, so here we have all the bush rums, and you'd get all your really nice cocktail drinks. So that is very popular among locals as well as international. When we have people coming here, what they do, they experience all our bush rums, and the bush rums are locally made. So you'll have bush rums. I think we have like over 50 something bush rums. And I think that catches the eye of a lot of travelers that never really tasted or never experienced this before. So that's a plus for us.
Kelly, it sounds like we need to do some cocktails and sunsets
I know
I
that's talk about that.
virtually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
At the moment, our spa is closed, well, due to COVID, but usually we do have a full, when I said full spa with like about 8 different little rooms or for massages. We have the sauna. We have this area where you could actually do the sulfur, the whole sulfur bath. And but at the moment, as I said, it's unfortunately we closed, and we should be looking to open maybe sometime later this year.
Okay. Now, seeing that image and what came to mind was your national dish, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, sure.
Something else. Warren just posted something, and Warren said, according to my good friend Simon Walsh,
Yeah,
it takes 2 weeks to hike one of the trails. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
which is the Waitikubuli National Trail. So that's the one with the 14 segments.
Oh wow.
Yes, yes.
So you
You could do your 2-week quarantine over there too then.
I guess. Because that segment is like 115 miles, and it's actually the trail, sorry, is 115 miles, and it's divided into 14 segments. Now, the first segment actually starts in the southern part of the island, which is Scott's Head, and it ends in the northern part, which is right where we are, the Cabrits National Park. So it's like you're basically walking from one end to the island to the other end of the island. So imagine that. So yes, it's going to take 2 weeks.
That's hilarious.
Real.
But you know what? It's fun, and a lot of people, especially really hardcore hikers, they come to the island just to do this trail. And what makes it so fun is that they could do, let's say, 1 or 2 segments in a day, or up to 3 segments in a day. Then they have like they can either camp out, or there's accommodation for them that will take them. So we have like bed and breakfast accommodations along all the trails. They're certified, so we know where the people are staying. We can track them, and they get up the next day, get their breakfast, and they move to next couple trails, maybe do 2 or 3. So they do it at their own pace, and I think that is something that people love. It is safe, and it is really nice.
Cheryl
Fantastic.
is thinking about steps. I think that would be my entire steps for the entire year. So that's a lot of steps.
Okay, so one of the things that we're big on right now is meetings and events. So far, since we reopened in July last year, we've had a lot of weddings, events, conferences, meetings. And as I said to you earlier, we're now getting ready to host a UN conference in May. So that
Now,
is exciting.
before we continue, I want you to remind you to talk about the entry requirements for Dominica. Before,
Okay.
before I forget to ask you, just remember we want to talk about the entry requirements for Dominica.
Okay. So right now we have on the island like a safe in nature program. And so we don't say quarantine. I think quarantine is a bit too harsh. So what it is, for you to get in, you first need to have your 72 hours PCR test. So you get a PCR test, which you take 72 hours before in your country, and you travel with that. Once you get to the airport, you have to do another rapid test. Once your rapid test is negative, then you can come directly to the resort. You do not have to go in a government quarantine. Once you're booked with us or booked to any safe in nature property, you can go directly to that property. Once you're on that property, you cannot leave the property up to 5 days unless you do your second PCR test. So you stay within the property. But the good thing about us and our property, because it's so big, we can actually allocate a special or a designated area, or I should say designated building, just for our safe in nature guests, so that they don't interact with our other guests or the locals. They would have their own swimming pool, their own restaurants, and so they're not confined, they're not isolated. They can still use the beach, they can still use the tennis court and stuff. They can do stuff, and that is the good thing about it. So people don't feel so confined to their rooms. And after you take your 5th day, after you take your PCR and it's negative, then you're free to leave the resort. You go to your tours, you can, mingle with anybody. So that is how it works for us.
So
Does that
just to
answer your
confirm,
question?
negative PCR test 3 days prior to travel. And I think
Yes.
the 3rd day, it should be the day of travel. And you get to
Yes.
the destination, you get to Dominica, you do an antigen test on the airport, and then you have to go to your hotel to vacation in place and for
Yes.
5 until the second PCR test. So the second test has to be a PCR test.
Yes. The second test is the
Yes.
PCR test.
PCR test. So once that's negative, then you're free to roam, and you can
Yes.
go and roam around the island. Okay, so that
Correct.
I hope that made that
Correct.
your question.
Yes. So you don't, and for us, if what we do while you're here for the 5 days, we do temperature checks on a daily basis. So we still kind of take care of you just in case, you develop anything during your travel time. So even though you did come with a negative PCR and your rapid test was still negative, for those 5 days, we at the resort will still monitor you. So every day we will come and we will still take your temperature and just to ensure that you're okay until you have your PCR test on the 5th day. And then the PCR test, we facilitate that. So we have the doctors actually or the nurses actually coming to the resort and to take your test. And then we facilitate to get the results to you maybe like 48 hours, within at least 24 to 48 hours.
Is there a fee for that? Is that fee goes?
Yes, there's a fee, and I think the fee is about I can't remember, but it's not more than 100 US.
Okay.
Yes. So I hope that answers the question.
I
And
think it does.
if anyone has any further questions on that, I think if you go on the Discover Dominica website, they would have the travel protocols. You just click on that and it gives you all the travel protocols and it would tell you whether you would need that because based on where you're coming from, you don't really need to do the whole safe in nature or the quarantine thing. And if you're in a low risk country, then you're fine. It only applies to people that come from high risk countries.
And for us here, that applies to us. So I
Yes,
think I think it's only a few Caribbean islands that it applies to that you don't have to.
yes, because we're not in the bubble anymore. We used to have a nice travel bubble.
So the
Unfortunately,
bubble busted. And
bubble got busted.
if you have clients in the Caribbean and for certain destinations, if they are there for 14 days or more, that they will in that destination, like Dominica, they don't have to like I think like St. Kitts. St. Kitts is the other very safe destination. So there's
Yes,
clients staying at the Park Hyatt in St. Kitts and they were there for 14 days. So if they're going over to Dominica, they don't have to do the vacation in place or all of the entry protocol stuff. So certain islands in the Caribbean, from island to island, there is no restriction on
right.
PCR, but you have to ask which ones because it's not all of the Caribbean, just those that
No, it's not.
sit in the
But if
bubble.
you go on the Discover Dominica website, actually it gives you, so it will tell you what islands are on the low risk, medium risk, and high risk. So you know which one applies to you.
Yeah. I hope that answers your question as well. Thank you.
I have a question. What is the capacity of your meeting space?
Okay, so our meeting space, we have different capacities because let's say let me just okay, so it's based on how many people, because we have this ballroom. We have 3 meeting rooms at the moment that we can accommodate for meetings. The biggest one we have is, well, we've called them, like we've named them after some waterfalls. So we have the Trafalgar Ballroom. That's it's 2,500 square feet. And based on the style of seating you have, we can take up to 200 people in that meeting room. So if we do like theater style, we can take up to 200, classroom style 100, a U-shape 70, and maybe boardroom or banquet, we can do 60 to 100. Then we have,
That's,
go
that's,
ahead.
that's, that does not take in
COVID consideration. Yeah.
No, that doesn't take in COVID consideration because what we do at the moment, if we hosting any large conferences, we do not take in anybody else. We only take the people for the conference.
Okay.
So what we do, we work within a bubble.
Okay.
And that's what we're doing for the UN conference. So once we're able to work within the bubble, then we're able to use the space that we have. If we have outsiders that are going to join or we're not working within the bubble, then we have to allocate, the whole 6 feet thing. and then we may just have half of the numbers. Understood?
Yes.
Understood. Yes,
Okay.
makes sense as well.
So we have a junior ballroom, which is we call the T2 Gorge, and it's like 1,300 square feet. And again, this right now can take up to like maximum 50 people,
Okay.
right? We
So,
have pre-function,
so I was saying that when it comes to destination weddings, you can host small and large groups because your
oh
ballrooms
yes,
hold a lot. So we didn't talk
yes.
about destination weddings, but I know most of the agents there will be asking about
Oh,
destination.
definitely. I think we're just the ideal location for a destination wedding, especially if I will try to send some photos on our cabana lawn, so you can see because most of our weddings, like the ceremony itself, we use the cabana lawn where we set up the arch and everything, and it's facing the sea, and it is just lovely. And I think a lot of people that's the kind of setting they're looking for right now.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
any
then we have a few other smaller boardrooms. We have pre-function spaces. So again, it would be based on the numbers you have, and then we can tell you which room we can accommodate you. But we can accommodate as many as 200, and at least for maximum 200 right now.
okay, sounds good.
Okay, I hope I answered that question.
Yes, I think you did.
All right. So it falls under the meetings and events that I was just going to speak about. The meeting spaces we have for events, also even for a wedding, as we were saying earlier, we can accommodate as many as maybe 200 for wedding ceremony and the reception. One of the good things about our meetings and conferences and events, even as far as weddings, we do not charge. Like if you go ahead and you do the catering, we do the catering for you. We do not charge for the conference space. So I won't charge you for the conference room if you go ahead and say, okay, I have 100 persons for the wedding, and we cater for the 100 persons.
So
So
are you saying
that's a plus.
you could bring in outside caterers as well?
No, we can bring in outside caterer because we have a big kitchen and a chef, executive chef. So we don't do outside caterers,
Okay, just
but we have several menus. We have like this big banquet menu that if you're interested in one of our events or weddings, we give you a choice. The menu would be based on what you like, and you can choose the price that is, that fits your budget. So when we start speaking to people about events and weddings and stuff like that, we first sit with them and we give them options. So they have an option of choosing if you want a morning wedding, you can do a banquet, how you call that? You can do a brunch. If you want, you can do a lunch. If you do an afternoon wedding, then we can offer something like a nice dinner, nice classy dinner. It's based on what you want. And we go through the menus, and whatever menu you'd like, you talk about the budget, or if you want to take out something, if you want to add something, if you want to add wines, if you want whatever you like. What we do, we sit and we work because we have an events coordinator. So she will sit and actually plan with the guest or the client based on what they want.
Okay, so but it's good to know that the meeting space is free if you use the
Yes,
space is free if you use the facility. So that's good
yes,
to know.
and then I think it's a plus because most people, especially in Dominica, they're accustomed when they have just meetings, conferences of coming and do a lot of stuff themselves. So it is so, kind of, I was taken back when I started working here, and people call and say, oh, I want to do this, but like, oh, do I have to bring this? Do I have to do this? Oh, do I? And I said, no, you just have to come on the day at your designated time and just attend your meeting. And they don't realize, like, actually the hotel does everything. So we do the setup and we do the breakdown. If you want light decor, we can do the decor. We do the candles. based on what you want. We have, oh, the property is full of flowers and beautiful flowers. So we do our own floral arrangements
No, that must be
that,
beautiful.
we can put on your tables. We do the tablecloths, we have chair covers. So we have like so much stuff that we just do for you. All you need to do is show up.
Question.
Sure.
Just curious, what are the legal requirements? That's not the term. Getting married, how many days do you need to apply for the marriage license?
Okay, I think it is 3 days.
Okay.
Let me just look it
But
up.
it's actually the residency requirement. That's the term I was looking for. The residency requirement for getting married.
Okay, so the residency requirements. One, the cost of the marriage license. Okay, non-residency is 500 fine. But I think the residency one, it's 185 US.
Okay.
And then you have an extra fee, I think, for the license, which is about it's 300 EC, which is like about 100 US. And if you have the marriages with the registrar office, that's another fee, like about 20 US or so. So there are different fees.
Right.
And I think there are lawyer fees for statutory declarations on marital status and all that. That's about another 200 US.
So there is no residency.
No.
No residency.
So you can get married on the same day? Is that what you're saying?
You can get married on the same day once or everything is processed before.
Okay. So there's no residency requirement.
No.
Okay, that's great.
So we
That's
would
good
do-
to know.
I think that I don't think we could do it before, but I think there were a lot of requests from like people that come on a cruise ship
Yes.
and would come, get married the same day and go back on the cruise ship.
Right.
Now, Natalie
That's-
just joined us.
that's-
Natalie for Caribbean Wedding Planner. So Natalie could probably answer any of the parts.
I think I came in. Hi, morning, ladies.
Morning.
I think I came in at the right time. Yes. So no, we don't have, and I could speak to that because I worked with the government of Dominica and Dominica Tourism Authority, the DDA, many moons ago. And one of the things we did when we were looking at destination weddings for Dominica is the legislative process. So while yes, we were looking at it from the standpoint of cruise weddings, land-based weddings can actually take opportunity. The clients can take that opportunity because Dominica actually has no residency requirements.
That's
And
good.
one of the things with Dominica too, they were very forward thinking is that the forms and everything can actually be done. You could get the forms overseas, you could get them signed by your notary public and then send them down to Dominica with all your
Right.
other
They're actually online.
So what you said, Cornelia?
The forms are actually online, so you can just print them, download them, and go ahead and do your stuff.
Correct.
That's fantastic.
So they were really one of the best governments, I must say, that I worked with, that the recommendations that I had put through, they took them on board. And especially now with COVID, it's so much
Absolutely.
easier to be able to just have the forms at your disposal, complete them, send them into Cornelia. And guys, I know Cornelia many years, going back to DDA. So I know she's going to be doing a fantastic job for your clients when they choose the Cabrits Kempinski for your wedding.
Thank you, Miss Caribbean Wedding Planner.
I have to represent all of my destinations.
At the end of the day, we are one Caribbean. So
Yep.
definitely. So
Correct. We certainly are.
yeah. So,
Okay. So this is just a photo of our ballroom. We have different ways of setting it up. It looks bigger in real. And that's just what a sunset.
That's
So if any other questions,
back to the sunset, and we could, so we're gonna have a sunset and cocktails because this is
Absolutely. Bring the bush rum, please.
we
Bring
gotta
the
yes,
bush rum
yes, and the bush rub. Well, we have
for
to do
sure.
them virtually. So we know we have kept you on for a long time, Cornelia. So
that is fine.
any questions for Cornelia? And then the nice thing, she worked with the Dominica Tourist Board. Natalie worked with the Dominica government. So we have all the right people here to answer any questions about Dominica and the Cabrits Resort and Spa. I just want to know when can I come?
I mean, you can take the next flight. I've already invited Natalie. And actually, that is what I want, is just to connect with you guys, see if you can come do a farm trip so you get to know the property better. You can sell it better.
So we will do a TASC farm trip as soon as the flights get. Talking about that, what about flights to Dominica? I know a lot of the flights are out of Puerto Rico. So tell us a little bit about how to get to Dominica from the US.
Actually, I do get, we get some information a schedule every month. And right now, so the last one we had from April, we don't have so many flights because with the story of Liat. But right now, like on a Sunday, we would have flights from Liat and into Caribbean coming and departing out of Dominica. On Mondays, if you person is traveling to St. Martin, we have actually a Winier flight from St. Martin via Antigua coming to Dominica. Silver Airways, which was it was like American Eagle, so it's the one that connects with American Airlines from San Juan, and that comes in also on a Monday. We have the Silver Airways actually on a Monday, on a Thursday, and on a Friday and Saturday. So that one is kind of popular. So if you take your flight actually from San Juan, you can get here on those days.
The travel advisor, this is the one we're going to be doing. We're going to be leaving on a Thursday, spend the weekend at Cabrits, and return on a Monday. So you miss no work.
So that is perfect. Silver Airways, yes, you can come. You leave San Juan like about 3:15. You get to Dominica at 5 on a Thursday. And
So
on a Monday,
you have all day to get to San Juan.
okay, sure.
And if I could add, travel advisors, for those of you who have been and those who haven't been to Dominica, my personal view, Portsmouth is one of the best locations I've visited in Dominica. And the Cabrits area is beautiful. Where the hotel is, there's the Cabrits National Park down there as well. You also have access to go up the river to Indian River in Dominica. I mean, that was such a beautiful experience going in that canoe and just sailing up the river and being able to take photos. And I think there was a movie. What movie was filmed down there again?
It was the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean. So yeah, I mean, you could really do that adventure, and then there's a bar along the way that you could take. So it was really a fun experience. And don't forget the baths, the sulfur spa. Was it Stooge?
There's Cruise.
Yeah. Cruise. Oh, the experience at Cruise, and I heard there are a lot more. The other ones that have come up. So it's certainly a different type of vacation. So it's not your normal beach vacation.
I think it's an experience. Not to me,
It's an
experience.
It certainly is. And for your girl pals who want to do like a girls trip, I would certainly say use that to celebrate a birthday or something. Use that. And there's Red Rocks down that side as well. Oh, I always said if I were to ever honeymoon, going to spending a day on the beach by Red Rocks was like, oh my God, yeah, it's amazing.
It is.
So we will be doing a farm to Dominica. We already have the hotel. We guys will have to do your own air, and we have Cornelia who will work with us.
Yes.
And then you on our chat right now, on not on the chat, on yes, on the chat right now, we'll get priority because I don't know how many advisors you can take at once, but we will definitely be working on that for us to see Dominica because
No
Dominica is one
problem.
of those destinations that's a hidden gem in the Caribbean. And I'm from the Caribbean. I'm from St. Lucia. It's my neighbor, and I can tell you, I mean, during Creole, I mean, you guys have the best Creole festival. During
Mm.
Creole festival, I think all of St. Lucia goes over to Dominica during the
Yes,
Creole
the
festival.
whole
I
country.
went
And
to
you know
this
what too? And you
entire
know what
country.
too? Antigua is also very. I'm from Antigua. Antigua is very Dominica friendly. I
Yes,
mean, it is.
yes.
Our national anthem starts Fair Antigua and Barbuda, but as a child, people would joke and say Fair Antigua Dominica because there are just so many Dominicans. I
And
mean, we
didn't.
grew up with so
Yeah,
many
there are a lot of
Dominicans in
Dominicans in
Antigua.
Antigua.
Yep.
I went to Antigua and I went to visit I think the Pineapple Beach. Pineapple
Uh-huh.
Beach Club. And I was just walking around, and the first person I met, we started to talk. I'm like, "Where are you from, Dominica?" The first person I
Yep.
met was
No, Dominicans have
Dominica
been
in the
coming
garden.
to
Yeah,
Antigua for years. Very friendly, just a very cordial relationship and very congenial.
definitely.
Yeah.
So Dominica is also great for diving. She was just asking about festivals. The Creole
Oh,
Festival in
yes.
Yes,
October. This,
It
I
is
mean,
yes.
amazing.
like Carnival, Esha, if you like Carnival,
Oh,
Carnival,
she
we
would
have
she
the
would
Jazz
she would go
Festival.
crazy with Creole Festival.
you'd love this. This is like the
Yeah.
biggest day. I mean, the biggest Creole festival I think it's in
And
the
very
entire.
well run. Very, very
Yes,
organized. I
yes.
went a few years
Let me
ago.
tell you why. Let
Yes.
me tell you why it's very well run. Half of the staff are St. Lucians.
Yep. No,
And
Dominica is
the
beautiful.
carnival is also really good for carnival lovers.
Yes.
There's Bay Fest as well.
We also have
And
like a
then
Jazz and Creole festival.
A what
When
festival?
we started
Drunken
it over
Credulity?
the years, but it's been good.
and the Pop Fest, Cornelia.
Oh yes, the pork fest. So that's one of the village fest. We have a Titiwi fest. So every village, has its own thing that is unique. So
Mhm.
they do this little festival. So every village have a Titiwi festival. Titiwi the small fishes.
I love the
We have the
I love
pork fest.
I love when they make the
And
Accra the TTV. So this
right,
is so good.
right.
This is so
And
good.
one of the other villages got a rabbit fest.
We are going to Dominica. We already have Asha who said she's on board. Laura Yoda, she said she's on board. Cheryl. So we already have a
Oh
group for
yeah,
Dominica. So we
good,
And then
good.
if you're a foodie as well, I would say Dominica too, because the whole Creole aspect, I think out of the Eastern Caribbean,
are the
Dominica really has that true authentic food that you get all
We
the
do.
time. So
Mhm.
I think after Jamaica in the Caribbean, I would say in terms of their food that they love and you'll find on a
Oh
menu
yes,
all the time, Dominica is second
What did
in
Cheryl
the
say?
Caribbean.
yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so
I
it's
think that's what kind of helped us to kind of pick up when we started doing all these culinary things and culinary highlights at the hotel, at the resort, even though we were just catering to the resident, but they were interested in the different foods. So we kind of, they were just talking all this COVID thing at home for months. But when we just started with the whole international thing and the Creole menus, people came out and they came out in large numbers just because they wanted to experience something different.
Mhm.
And the food was good, and we made sure we stayed at a good price.
yes.
Great.
So
We
that was good.
about a farm trip to Dominica. This will probably be the first task farm trip for 2021. We'll
Oh,
work with
yes.
we'll work with Cornelia and Natalie seems to be an expert on where to eat, so we'll bring in we'll bring in Natalie.
Cornelia,
Definitely.
hopefully,
Definitely.
hopefully you guys will participate in the Caribbean Virtual Expo.
Yes, I will get
We'll
some more
definitely,
information on
yes,
that.
we'll definitely follow up with you. We want as
Yeah.
many resorts as possible, especially resorts like yours that, are still people are still learning about you
Oh,
and
yes.
getting the word out. This is an excellent opportunity to speak directly to the travel advisors who are, everyone's looking for a new opportunity, looking to fine tune their sales techniques. They're
Oh,
looking for new
definitely.
product. So we're happy to welcome you into the fold.
Yes, thank you. And I think just the fact, again, as I mentioned before, we have low numbers on the COVID virus. I think people are looking just to escape. They want to come somewhere where they feel free, where they feel comfortable. They're not so restricted,
Hmm.
and the quarantine is not long. There's still, you don't have to do this intensive 14 days quarantine. And, I think it's a plus for us. So
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We will do a farm trip and vacation in place at Cabrits Resort and Spa. So I think
There you go.
Definitely,
that's a
There you
definitely,
go.
good
definitely.
idea. Um, Somebody said, "Oh, Jerry is here," and she said they should also participate in the New Orleans. Oh, New Orleans has a Creole festival as well.
Festival, yes,
Because
yes,
the same the because of the Creole language. Yeah, but
yes.
Dominica is an experience. It's I remember the first time I went to Dominica, I was a child, and I stayed at the Fort Young Hotel, and I can never forget
Okay.
that experience. I remember I told my father that I did not want to eat. I was not going to order any the chicken because I didn't eat the chicken, and he was like,
Because it's mountain chicken.
"Yes," but it's like,
Is
but
the Fort Young Hotel still
yeah,
around?
but
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
wow.
Yes,
it's
yes, it
like.
is.
And at the time, I was a vegan, but I was worried about in case I asked for the wrong stuff. And it was like, "You vegan, you don't eat meat, but you worried about asking for chicken, and then you get mountain." But I think that
Yes.
was really a nice chat this morning, and I hope a lot of our advisors learned something different, something new.
Oh,
And
yes, I'm
they
happy.
have Dominica and the Cabrits Resort is the only luxury resort. Is it the only luxury resort in
It
Dominica?
is the only luxury resort. Yes.
The only that just came
Secret
up.
Bay. Secret Bay is it's luxurious as well, but Secret Bay is more eco
Okay.
because of its location, and so it's a little bit different
And I
than.
think to have been being branded as well, I think people know the standard of Kempinski.
Yes,
So
Correct.
that also helps in terms of
yes, that's
the
what I was saying
level
before.
you would get in Dominica.
Yeah, because it's like a European brand, and so most of the things that they're doing, or the protocols that the procedures that they're following in all the European resorts, we are also applying the same. So we have the same white glove service, the same things where our staff don't wear, they can only get their uniforms when they get on property. So
Yeah.
we do a lot of these things, which is a plus for us.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So this has been
Yeah.
amazing. I think you have us all lined up who want to go to Cabrits, wants to go to Dominica and stay at a Cabrits
For
resort.
sure.
Oh, well, that's my intentions.
And if you have any questions, Cornelia is in the task group, so you could just tag her if you have a question about the resort. You could just tag her and she will answer, and we'll get you any images you want of the resort.
Yes.
Share it on your Facebook page. We'd be happy to get that to you so you can promote the resort as well. And we will be working on our farm trip to Dominica.
Definitely.
So thank you
Fantastic.
so much. And before we go, just wanted to remind you, June 17th, we will be putting out the registration form very soon. And this will be our Caribbean Expo with the OECS. So any final words, Cornelia?
No, I'm just happy to be there. Thank you for the opportunity. And as I said, this is just an amazing place, amazing resort in an amazing island. And I welcome everybody, just put it on their bucket list.
Yeah.
If it's not for this year, at least for next
You know,
year.
2021,
And
let's live today. Okay, 2021, we are coming.
yes,
Across.
At
And
least book it. At least
definitely.
book it now. Even if you're bored later,
Yes,
at least book it now.
book
And
it now.
Yep.
it's a new experience for your clients. It's a different experience. It's a new experience, and Dominica is an eco destination. So I swear you breathe in fresh, clean air. The most of the
Yes.
food is organic, and the people, just like St. Lucians, are also very hospitable people. So you
Oh,
would
yes,
love it.
definitely.
So
Definitely.
any
And we're
last
working with Natalie. So, the people that want to plan or you want a big wedding, or you have a big conference, you could go through Natalie, and Natalie definitely will work with us.
yeah, Dreamy Weddings, the Caribbean
Oh, yes.
wedding planner of the year and of all of the years coming up to as well. Any last words,
Yes.
do you read before we've been on almost an hour? Any last words, do you read?
Just tell me when we can come to that. What's the bar again? The fire
Rum
bar?
fire.
Rum fire. I can't
Sure.
wait. That sounds amazing. The name alone.
Oh yes.
The name alone, I think is a winner. So we look forward to visiting in person, and hopefully we can do a virtual event.
Yes.
And
Event soon. Yeah.
yeah, I love Dominica. I mean, I've been going to Dominica like Kelly since I was a kid. So I would love to see it in post-COVID, and it's good to reconnect as an adult with some of the childhood memories. So yeah, I'm on that trip.
Any last
on that
words?
trip.
Any last words, Dreamy Weddings?
Oh, and I just want to say for all the advisors out there, as Cornelia said, add it to your bucket list. Honestly, persons normally say, "Oh, it's sometimes difficult to get to Dominica," but sometimes you doing an extra short flight isn't bad at all. But the experience is very, very much worth it by going to Dominica. And for those brides who are eco-friendly, your green brides, it's certainly the destination to recommend. And the Cabrits is located as one of the best parts of Dominica, in my opinion. And I know that Cornelia and her team will certainly do an excellent job for your destination wedding client.
Jerry said that. So
I'll drink to that.
Well, this has been a marathon, but it was so worth it.
thank you so much. And again, remember, Jerry, not you, Jerry. Cornelia is in the group, so if you have any questions, just tag her, and she'll be happy to answer questions. And remember, I know you think that it's hard to get to Dominica. It's not hard to get to any Caribbean island when you have TASC. We are the ones who provide you with the research, and we're the ones to make things very easy for you. So you have TASC,
Absolutely.
guide, so use us for your research. And thank you so much. Sorry for keeping you on so long, Cornelia. It was a really good chat.
Fine. This is fine. It's well worth it.
Yes. So thank you. Everything was great. I really enjoy that, and I'm all hype about going to Dominica right now. So let's plan that farm trip maybe in the fall.
Oh yes.
More people will be vaccinated, and hopefully the restrictions will be a little bit less strict like it is now. But we will still get you in place, so that's that's not going to be a problem. But we will work on that farm trip, and it was so nice to see you. And Natalie, well, I haven't seen Natalie for a while. Anyway, I'm thinking that I always see you.
Virtual.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we need it's time. We need to start doing networking face to face. And Natalie just came off her birthday holiday. Her birthday was she had a birthday holiday yesterday, and she'll be having a birthday party this weekend. So
wow, excuse me.
Thank you.
We Aries just love life, and we live life to the fullest. So guys, as I said, come on, let's meet in Dominica. Cornelia and myself, we're working on something big for November. So we'll tell you all about it, and you might meet us there, right, Cornelia?
Right.
Fantastic.
Make that farm trip in November. Why not?
Yes.
So thank you everyone for joining and staying with us for a whole hour today.
Yeah, they hung in here for sure.
Yes, they did. So thanks again, and bye everybody.
Okay. Bye. See you soon.